Everything has a story, even something as simple as a U.S. heavy cruiser making a delivery. In 1945, World War II was coming to an end, but there was still some work to be done. The USS Indianapolis was a United States heavy cruiser that was assigned a mission to deliver classified cargo. Unbeknownst to everyone on board, the ship was carrying crucial parts needed to assemble the Little Boy bomb. This bomb was the first atomic bomb used in warfare and was used to attack Hiroshima. The ship left San Francisco and headed to Tinian Island where they dropped off the bomb parts. After completing the mission, the plan was to go to the Philippines for training, then go to Guam to receive new orders. But tragically, the USS Indianapolis was torpedoed along the way. At the time, Japanese submarines were given orders to fire on any US ships they spotted. When they saw the ship, a Japanese submarine fired 6 torpedoes on the USS Indianapolis. 2 of them penetrated the ship. The damage was irreparable and it immediately began to sink. Those who didn't die from the explosions jumped overboard into the ocean.
Well, all we could do is yell and scream, "Abandon ship, abandon ship."
Due to the destruction, dangerously hot oil from the ship flooded the water. There was a limited amount of life jackets and only a few life rafts.
I heard this terrible, terrible screaming of men beneath me being burned alive.
Not to mention the sharks that flooded the water around the men. Oceanic whitetip and tiger sharks are some of the deadliest sharks in the world, known to attack humans. They were lured by the smell of blood and swarmed the scene, consuming some of the men.
There's all these sharks going around. Come right across your legs like that.
I said, "Jimmy, at night I didn't see any sharks." He says, "Pete, you don't know what fear is. I was walking on their back."
You knew that a damn shark had hit somebody because of the blood-curdling scream that they let out. Unlike anything you ever heard before in your life.
The crew had to endure shark attacks, sun poisoning, exhaustion, starvation, dehydration, oil burns, and more. They were stranded for 4 days and 5 nights. That's about 108 hours.
I wanted to live as much as anybody else, and I wasn't brought up to give in and surrender very easily.
I saw some things that I would never want to talk about.
Due to a miscommunication, the station in Guam wasn't informed that the USS Indianapolis was coming. So, when the ship didn't arrive, no one suspected a thing. Near the end of the 4.5 days, a Navy aircraft discovered the incident while on a routine patrol. He noticed and reported the incident.
But somehow, in the providence of God, he saw us.
We call him our angel.
Our angel.
Our angel.
George Albert Whiting was one of the survivors. According to him, after the tragedy was reported, a plane flew overhead and dropped a message into the water. The problem was, the message ended up across a swarm of sharks. In an interview, he said, "You could look down underneath your legs and see the sharks swimming back and forth every direction." Captain Charles McVeigh ordered George Whiting to retrieve the message. Reluctantly, he agreed. George successfully completed the task and avoided being attacked by sharks. The message said, "At 2400 hours, there will be a ship here to pick you up." As promised, a ship arrived and brought as many men onto the ship as possible. They also dropped additional life rafts with jugs of water inside. More ships arrived and the crew was finally brought back to land on August 2nd, 1945. It took survivors months, even years, to recover.
I think I was as close to death as a person can be without actually going the last step.
There were 1,195 people on board the USS Indianapolis. Only 316 people survived. Around 300 people died from the torpedoes, between 50 and 150 were eaten by the sharks, and the others died from the circumstances.
The guys I knew on the ship were all killed.
Each of the survivors were awarded a Congressional Gold Medal, which is the highest civilian award given by Congress.
The story of their survival is an unparalleled account of perseverance and courage and self-sacrifice.
The Little Boy bomb was crucial to Japan's surrender in World War II. By delivering the bomb parts, USS Indianapolis heavily contributed to this victory. Japan officially surrendered on September 2, 1945, exactly 1 month after the USS Indianapolis crew was rescued. Ever since the sinking of the USS Indianapolis, it's been said to be the most devastating loss in U.S. Navy history.
After it's all over, you look and say, wow, what have I been through? Today, 60 years later, I still relive it.
The crew's resilience is inspiring, and they will forever be remembered for their bravery. If you want to know more about this tragic event, watch the documentary USS Indianapolis: The Legacy.